everyone, welcome to this reading. This reading is a new monthly focus that I am doing on a specific aspect of the astrological chart. This month I am looking at Lilith and where your placement of Lilith falls within your chart and what that placement may be bringing up for you. Now, this particular intro I will use at the start of every sign. I'm going to do a tarot reading for each sign, and I'm just going to pop this intro in at the beginning of each of those readings so that I don't have to record it 12 times. So if you're coming to this reading, you can be coming to it because of your sun, moon, or rising placement. But it might be worth your while to look at where Lilith is placed in your chart, where it is placed in which house, and also within which sign, because that will give you some sort of information as to how it may affect you in your personal life. Now, if you're looking for Lilith, it is the moon, like a crescent moon with a little cross on the top, and it's spelled Lilith, Lilith. Now, to give you a bit of context as to who Lilith is, she's different things, potentially different religions, different mythologies, different in astrology as well. So I'm going to give you those and it will give you a bit of a sense of who she is and how it may affect you. So first of all, in Judaism, she was the first wife of Adam. She wouldn't submit to Adam. She was wild. She was an instinctive feminine. She stood in her truth. She stood in her sovereignty. And as I said, she wouldn't submit to him. And so she was turfed out of the Garden of Eden. Lilith placements in your chart trigger feelings of exclusion, abandonment, unhealed feelings of those things. Lilith is the shadow. It's the feminine energy. Now, male or female, everyone carries feminine energy. It is the feminine energy, the more primal, dark aspects of the feminine energy. The independence, the refusal to conform, and the true secret desires to avoid criticism and rejection. So as I said, Lilith was excluded. So it's the patterns in your life, the things that have happened to you that trigger you because of wounds of exclusion. It's reinforced at the moment because we have Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto is transformation. Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is strong warrior energy. She demands social inclusion. Aquarius demands social inclusion. So Lilith is being triggered by being left out, and Aquarius, which is what we're in at the moment for the next 20 years actually, demands inclusion and will fight for it. So that's in Judaism. In Greek mythology, Lilith was known as Medusa. Those fiery snakes coming out of her head. Lilith is 0 to 100. The things that you are triggered by that take you from 0 to 100, especially if you are unhealed. If you haven't looked at that shadow aspect of where that Lilith is placed in your birth chart. Lilith is explosive. At the moment, we also have at play, we've got Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is earthquakes. Uranus is explosive, things that are explosive, things that take you from 0 to 100. Now, to put things further into perspective for you, Uranus is in Taurus. It will be there from the 1st of June this year, which is yesterday when it went in there, until the 1st of July 2031. It's in Taurus for 7 years. The last time Uranus was in Taurus was in World War II. The beginning of World War II, 6 months into World War II. The other thing that's at play at the moment, and the reason why I'm doing this reading specifically this month, because I was hearing the words off with her head. Now, when I went to light the match for this reading, and I used the red heads, this particular match had no head, off with her head. So we think of Medusa, off with her head. Anger, 0 to 100. We also think of the star Algol, Algol is I think how it's spelt. Now, Algol is what's known as a demonic star. It symbolizes beheading and losing control. Lilith, Medusa. That particular star was at play, was aspecting when Pearl Harbor was bombed. Algol is actually also at play. It's aspecting the upcoming new moon, which I think is on the 5th and the 6th. The other thing it's aspecting is the chart of Israel. It's aspecting the chart of Israel, Israel's sun. So when we think about all of the things that are happening, and this is not a political statement, but all of the things that are happening currently in the Middle East, and with reference back to wounds that have been triggered in regards to exclusion, things that have happened in the past in regards to exclusion. So if you think about Israel, you think about the Holocaust. Algol is aspecting Israel currently in the coming week. We also have Uranus, which is earthquakes, spiritual earthquakes, actual earthquakes in play with this Lilith, Algol, Medusa energy, all that. It's like a big boiling pot. And so what's happening out on the global stage is also happening on a personal stage as well, which is why I want to look into it. So as I said, if you find where your Lilith is in your chart, you can watch those readings. Otherwise, you can watch it for your sun, moon, rising. So I'll leave it there, and I will see you in your specific reading. Okay, Leo, welcome to your Lilith reading. Now, Leo, let's get into the nitty-gritty with where your Lilith placement is and what it means for you in your sign of Leo. Now, you could be coming to this reading as a Leo sun, moon, rising, or a Lilith in Leo placement. So please take it as it resonates. Now, Leo, you are the sign of creativity and self-expression. You are outgoing and you are artistic. But with a Lilith placement in Leo, you may have some underlying insecurities surrounding your creative abilities and the value that they bring to the world. You may have a desire to create, but a fear the moment that you go to share it. So part of the healing of your Lilith is to grow spiritually in terms of your creativity. So in your past, you may have had creative ventures that were frowned upon or poo-pooed by people in your life. You may have been told that something that you were creating wasn't good enough. You may have created something thinking that it was going to be part of a bigger creative project, and you were told that it didn't make the grade. There's something within your creativity and your self-expression, who you are and how you put yourself out there creatively to the world, that has taken a hit, taken a knock at some stage in your journey in life. And with your Lilith in Leo, it's creating obstacles. It's something that triggers you. If somebody is to say something negative about something that you create or your self-expression, it can send you from 0 to 100. And it's most likely because that Lilith wound is unhealed. Now, when I talk about growing spiritually, my Lilith isn't in Leo, but I can attest to this because I'm an illustrator. So creativity is a major, major part of my life, something that I was always good at. So I never really got a rejection from it, something that I was always good at, but I could never connect with it, connect with my self-expression, connect with my creativity until the last 4 years when I've gone through a massive spiritual awakening and I have combined, and as I said, how to heal this Lilith wound in Leo is to connect spiritually, to grow spiritually. So as I said, I went through a huge spiritual awakening, and during that process, I became, well, I was always intuitive, but I became very aware of my placements in my chart and what they meant. Specifically, South Node and North Node placements. Now, I know we're talking about Lilith here, but my South Node is in Taurus, so that is creativity, arts, creativity. My North Node is in Scorpio, which is connecting with my spirituality. And so in the last 4 years, I have created, unknowingly, before I knew those placements, I've created a range of tarot and oracle decks. This is all the decks that I use on my channel, connecting one with the other. You need to look at where your north and south node placements are, and I will pull some cards on that because that's my north node oracle deck. But you also need to look at where your Lilith placement is if you've come here, because many people are watching for their sun, moon, or rising, which is great because those Leo themes pertain to you as well. But it's really important to have a look at where your Lilith placement is. And if it's in Leo, it is part of your creativity and your self-expression and your fear of the value that it brings. Are you good enough? Okay, let's have a look. I'm finding these readings so interesting. The other thing that might, and only because I'm talking about my stuff, the other thing that might be of interest to you, have a look. If your Mercury, if you were born in a Mercury retrograde, or if Mercury was direct. I was born in a Mercury retrograde, which means I have incredible trouble speaking. Mercury is a sign of communication. Took me years to actually open up this channel and speak. I don't have any problems with what is in my head. It's just when it comes out of my mouth. It's almost like a pause, and breaking through. Have a look where your Mercury is. That might be of relevance to you because it's something that just popped into my head. Six of Cups, nostalgia from your past. And we have the Empress. The Empress is nurturing your creative side, irrespective of perhaps how people in the past may have perceived the value in what you were expressing or what you were creating. You need to look at that. Think about times in your past when people have shut you down because of how you express yourself, whether individually or through your creativity. Seven of Pentacles. Those people have planted seeds. The Emperor. The Emperor in this context is somebody a bit cutting. And if you look at these two birds, he's head up. This is what I feel. I'm going to tell you what I think about your self-expression or your creativity. And this bird, the Empress, she's got her head down. Maybe somebody embarrassed you, told you weren't good enough, told you your creativity or your self-expression wasn't good enough. And it's had you in this phase of, I'm not good enough. And so then when anybody says anything in regards to what you are doing now in terms of your self-expression or your creativity, you go from 0 to 100 because it's like, what do they say? Don't poke the bear. It takes you right back to that moment. Yeah, their words are cutting. Ace of Swords. That's a trigger. And it will continue to do that until you recognize the Hermit. Until you do the work. The Hermit is the dark night of the soul. The Hermit is going in and doing some internal reflection. This dragon. Dragons breathe fire. We've got two birds. These two birds here are actually the two birds on this card. Whatever it is that these people have said to you in the past makes you hermit your self-expression, your creativity. It takes you way back to when these two birds, to when this guy came forward in the past and actually stifled your creativity, stifled your self-expression. And it may just have been one sentence, but it's kept you back, held you back for forever. People can be really awful. The Lovers, this is these two birds. You've actually got to come back in alignment with yourself and recognize that this perpetual wheel that you're going around in getting angry because people are voicing their opinions on what they think you should do. You actually need to come into union with yourself. The Lovers is Gemini. Sometimes I think Gemini, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That light and dark energy of I'm creating, I'm being self-expressive, but then when somebody, so I've got the light side, but then when somebody says something that is triggering, that takes me back to this time in my past, then you see the other side. Then you see my dark side. You've actually got to come into alignment with yourself, do the work on that shadow side so that these people don't trigger you anymore. And as I said, you know, it's about how do you heal this? You do the spiritual work. As I said in previous readings, go in and have a look where, you know, confirm that your Lilith is in Leo or whatever other sign it is. If you're coming to this as a sun, moon, rising, find out where it is and then just do some Googling. What does it mean to have Lilith in a particular sign? Also, have a look at the house and do some Googling. There are pages and pages and pages and pages of information. So many websites have just incredible amounts of information on how to heal that Lilith, and it is liberating. Yeah, Six of Pentacles, it restores balance. Five of Cups. It restores the balance after the sadness, that sadness of being rejected because of who you are, of how you express yourself, of your creativity. Yeah, it's a new beginning. Look at that. That's beautiful. Eight of Wands coming towards you. A new beginning coming towards you. The Fool card is also Uranus. Now, I did say Uranus has gone into Taurus for the next 7 years. Uranus is earthquakes. Whoever this person was, and it could be one person, it could be a group of people, could be a workplace, could be a school, it could be anything. Whoever this person is that's created this massive earthquake, literally shaking you down to your core and made you believe that your worth was so little, your self-expression was so little, your creativity was so small that it's created this massive, big abyss of fear of bringing that creativity back to the world. As I said before, you've still got that desire to create, but then a fear at the moment where you're going to share it. That fear that there's going to be another earthquake if you do. Well, you need to do the work and heal yourself so that that doesn't happen. Because if you've got sturdy foundations, nothing can come down. Queen of Wands on the bottom. Queen of Wands is highly, highly creative and stands in her power, in her creativity. She's not afraid because self-expression and creativity is an ever-evolving thing. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. You will change your fortune. Healing. You'll change your fortune by healing. Nine of Wands. By healing this burden that has literally carried through for your life. Change your fortune. Judgment. Yeah, look at that. Judgment and the Hierophant. This person, these people were in your life as part of a test that you were meant to learn, as part of a spiritual awakening that you were meant to have by healing that shadow side of your creativity and self-expression. You've been judging yourself, placing too much judgment on yourself for fear of being rejected. Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a soul contract that you have, the Hierophant there, for a new beginning. Ace of Wands. And death and rebirth, a new beginning. How beautiful is that? Okay, let us have a look. This is my Divine Messages Oracle deck. Let's see what comes out. A fall from grace. That you were worried. I think creativity and self-expression, you're worried that if you express who you really are, that you're going to be judged. And that's going to change how people see you. Somebody who's creative is, as I said before, is constantly creating. It's like a moving, it's like a river. It's constantly moving and changing. I actually watched a really interesting thing yesterday. I was on a lady who was talking about, it was Tilda Swinton. And she was talking about she doesn't want to be pigeonholed into a specific group. You know, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. She said, I am artistic and I am constantly evolving. And so she said, I don't want to align myself with any specific thing. I just, if you ask me who I am, meaning, you know, are you LGBTQ, you know, whatever the numbers are, you know, are you he, him, you know, whatever it is. Even, you know, is she an actor? Is she an actress? Is she British? Is she European? And she said, I am just me. And I just thought that was so beautiful, and it actually resonates. Divine counterpart. When you actually come in alignment with yourself and with who you are meant to be through your self-expression and your creativity, divine counterpart, you actually draw in. Now, we have had this Two of Cups card here, divine counterpart. You're potentially drawing in people that are part of your soul family once you do this work on your Lilith placement. Impenetrable energy, because you then become like a rock. You don't have to worry about what other people say to you. Look at this, love offer. Love offer with yourself, but as I said, potentially it might be bringing somebody else in once you do this work. Now, this is my Nodes of Destiny deck. Let's get to 1. South Node in the 3rd house. Oh, that's too many. They're quite wordy, so I don't want to read 1,000 of them. Okay, now, this could be your placements. It could be something that pertains to your creativity and your self-expression, both in regards to your South Node. So after you've done your work on your Lilith, actually maybe go in and have a look at your South and North Node placements. South Node chilling in the 3rd house. Old habits die hard, especially if you've been besties with logic in the past. But hey, it's time to tune into your gut feelings. Who knows, a future in teaching or spreading wisdom could be calling your name. It's like our cozy spiritual hangout. That's the South Node. Letting go of old to make room for new adventures may be part of your self-expression and creativity, and your artisticness revolves around helping other people to not be frightened of putting themselves out there. South Node in Aries. Born with your South Node in Aries, flying solo feels like second nature to you. Past lives molded you into a lone wolf with a rebellious streak, but in this life, it's all about weaving those cosmic connections. It's like our universal sweet spot where magic happens and dreams take flight. As I said, bringing in soul family. Maybe you're meant to do something with a group of people that involves self-expression and creativity, that brings in a group of people where you can nurture each other without that fear of getting to the point where you go from 0 to 100 and feel like you want to cut somebody else's head off. A nurturing environment. But to get that, you actually have to do the work on your Lilith placement. This is my Angel Oracle deck. What angels are walking with you and guiding you at the time? 58, mentality. 14, Mebahel, justice, truth, and freedom. That's freeing yourself. We've got too many. 37, Aniel, philosophical knowledge in the arts and sciences. Healing. 68, Habahia. 65, Damabia, great fortune and spiritual protection. And 15, morality. And on the bottom, we have 22, Yael, fortune, fame, and new ventures. There's something, Great fortune, 2 fortunes. There's something about healing this Lilith placement that will actually align you with your destined path in terms of your work, your self-expression, your creativity, in terms of your work. Great fortune. But you have to heal the Lilith first. Now, this is my Moon Oracle deck. Let's have a look. Full moon in Capricorn, get ready. The finish line of a tough ride is in sight. And finally, we are going to get some Scrabble tiles. Letters and numbers. I normally don't do that many, but could be your first, middle, last initial. Could be that of somebody that you are dealing with at the time. Currently, could be somebody that you dealt with in the past that put this feeling of not being enough in terms of your self-expression or creativity. Could be that person's initials. A U and a 1, a Q and a 10, an O and a 1, a T and a 1, a D and a 2, a B and a 3, an E and a 1. I'm going to put that there. B-U. B-U. A W and a 4. Feel free to express yourself the way you want to creatively. A Z and a 10. As long as you're not hurting anybody. There we go. I knew it was in here somewhere. B-U. I just had a brain fart. I'm like, how do you spell U? B-U. T and a 1. An S and a 1, X and a 5, an X and a X5, an X and an 8. Might be some significance in the X5. J and an 8, a P and a 3, a C and a 3, a F and a 4. X5 was a class group that one of my kids was in at school. There might be people within a school environment that made you feel like you couldn't express who you were, whether it was in person or within your creativity, your creative side. JP, Justice of the Peace. Justice. Interesting. Okay. If this reading resonated with you, give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I do post regularly. If you are interested in any of my tarot or oracle decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you again in another reading.